Destiny 2 is here again. New expansion.
The game we've been playing for 7 years.
Yep, they're still making it. I'm here. This is Mike Burgess, and I'm here with Alex O'Neill, and you can officially call us from here on the Stasis Boys.
The Stasis Boys are in town.
Stasis Gang. Destiny 2 Beyond Light is the new expansion coming out in November for Destiny. We're both very excited for it. And the Xbox showcase just happened. Like we're literally recording this probably an hour or so after it came out. And this trailer surprised us because it just kind of dropped in the middle of this thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here it is. Here's some more. Here's these dope ass darkness powers, the stasis powers right here."
This is our stasis trailer. I feel like this might be the biggest preview of it we're gonna get.
Yeah, I totally until we get the Bungie Vidoc stream or whatever that's going to be this year. Yeah, where they kind of give a full breakdown, which that's probably not going to be here until closer to the expansion drops. So yeah, it was very nice to see this trailer because again the week before this they unfortunately announced that they had to delay the release of the expansion because it was originally at the end of September, and now it is November 10th. So
yes,
unfortunate, but the world is in a rough spot, and I'm even impressed as much as they can do all working from home. Making a game like Destiny, that's got to be something else to deal with.
And we Luke Smith did a little bit of interview with Jeff Keighley. We both watched that, so we'll have hopefully a little bit of extra to add here, but there's a lot of previews of the powers here that we finally get to see, so we're going to definitely do a lot of speculation on what classes I think we associate these powers with.
And just
what we think they are necessarily. Yeah,
and maybe it seems like you get some added abilities on some other things that aren't fully clear, because obviously we're not seeing full-on character builds or the abilities. They're full-on tracking, but we'll definitely get into it. I think at first, let's just watch the trailer raw. And just go through it, and then once we do that, because it's only 1 minute and 20 seconds, so it's not a super long trailer, as you can see. I guess we should say we're doing a trailer breakdown.
People figure it out.
People will figure it out. It'll be in the video title, but just to say, we're breaking down the trailer. We're looking at all the cool stuff that is kind of shown off of this, and these unique new abilities that you'll get in the Destiny expansion. We're just gonna run through the trailer real quick so you all can see it for yourselves if you haven't seen it already, and then we're gonna slow it down and break down the cool stuff we see. So let's take a look.
I like Europa.
Yeah, Europa looks super cool. We get some stranger dialogue here. She's talking about how she's seen the darkness.
So wild. So you went and played Destiny 1 this year. Did you see the stranger?
Yeah. So I went back and played some Destiny 1 like a madman because I never played before. And I just played through the initial campaign, so that's where the stranger is. Yeah. And then I played through the Taken King, but I did not go beyond that.
Isn't Taken King so dope?
Yeah, Taken King was cool. It was cool just going back to it and being like, oh yeah, this is the Destiny I know.
Yeah, exactly.
That it definitely you can definitely see the where Taken King is and now where Destiny is now, and see the through line, which was cool. But yeah,
it's a fun story. It's a fun game.
Yeah, it's a fun story.
Subclass was super cool.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad I did it, but it was enough to just do what I did.
Yeah, and now you know who the stranger is. Crazy that she's coming back after all this time.
Yeah, they definitely a character they seem like they just kind of forgot, so to speak, and then they have now finally brought her back. I just love that screenshot also, by the way, of all of their dark powers
looking dope as hell. So now we got we see a lot of Europa. We see
I'll slow us down here a little bit. So you see I'm sure this is where you land when you pick Europa as a destination, or one of the places you land looks super cool, it's a big station.
Very dark, it's very spooky.
Yeah, very ominous for sure.
And it seems like probably Fallen predominantly.
The whole story is from what I've gathered from doing some Destiny lore digging, as I've been doing more and more of as I've been kind of playing a lot. Aramis who is like the new. She's basically was kind of on the side. So if you remember, we actually did the mission that she was involved in, the 0 hour mission. If you remember way back when, I don't think we streamed that, but that's where we got the outbreak perfected, where you go back to the farm and you like go underneath and there's a fallen guy hidden in that like little bunker there, and you talk to him, and then he sends you on a mission.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically that whole like her new gang of fallen who have gone off were like the fallen that you were fighting in that mission, where she's basically trying to loot the Black Armory and try and more or less rebuild, and she's kind of broken off from one of the houses of the fallen to make her own, which is called the House of Devils.
Yes.
So now the House of Devils have now escaped here to Europa, and they have found essentially, at least making the assumptions that they have found some of the darkness powers, and have kind of maybe are getting their own. As you can see from this guy, look at this dude.
Yeah, right on time. Like it definitely seems like we could see the first wave of enemies with fallen type is gonna, or with stasis type is gonna be fallen.
Yeah.
I don't know what their abilities are gonna look like, but this seems cool.
He has like he has like ice daggers, and like, you know, if we've seen from what we've seen so far, we'll get into our powers. It seems like they're kind of about like time stuff. Like if there's
time
like
stuff and creating and shattering,
yeah,
and breaking.
it seems like it like doing some crazy time stuff that enemies can also do those powers. That'd be kind of wild.
Yeah.
Like I could see like some
platforms and stuff too.
Yeah, like creating platforms, or seeing some kind of boss that can like, you know, stop, like literally freeze us and do things.
Yeah, we see some sparrows on the left there too. So
yeah, sparrows. There's them seeing the pyramid that's awakened on the ice sheet there. Really good shot.
It gives us a perspective. This place is probably pretty big, which is cool.
Yeah, this is probably the big ship of the house of the devils, the fallen faction that's here. That's probably their ship that you were able to go to. I'm curious, actually, I'll go back a second. And they kind of showed him earlier on of like, I wonder if that's like that those are like your vendors down there, you see down there in the corners.
Yeah, totally, maybe. I bet they're cut out.
I think they showed him here earlier too. Yeah, like here's just some people hanging out.
Yeah.
That looks like, actually, now that I'm looking at that, this might be from a story mission, but I'm pretty sure that's the stranger right there.
Could be.
Like,
the stranger could be the vendor.
That could be the stranger and Drifter and them like doing stuff there.
Kind of like how they brought what's her face back for Forsaken. So
yeah, Petrovenge.
Petrovenge, yes, thank you.
Yeah, so we'll jump back over here. That's where there's the fallen ship.
Yeah, and then we are in the ship.
It's a good cut. It's a good cut. It looks like we got there's some little new gun teases. There's another. Looks like some more like kind of
that ship. It looks like it's probably a dreadnought, fallen dreadnought of some kind.
Yeah, and then here's like some mysterious Vexy stuff inside the planet.
The ice, maybe, yeah.
They're like probably inside the planet doing, you know, Vex stuff, messed up Vex
new
stuff.
Armor going on here.
I'm pretty. Yeah, those are new armor sets, I think, for the expansion. I have not seen those. The game, and here we see the first Stasis Super, or at least I think it is. Maybe. Which is the Titan doing a big ice slam, and he makes the big ice pillars.
Fists. Yeah, this seems cool.
And there's Create, one of the pillars of that. So I'm assuming these are like I think that's each of them. Like, wasn't it like, I think they said it's like Create, Encase, and Shatter, I think were the three.
Yes, are kind of like the three fundamentals of the power. So if we look in front of us, the Titan's on the right. Is that the Hunter on the left?
I think so. I think we are the Titan, because I think that was gonna be my guess, is like Create is maybe the Titan's purpose, Encase is maybe like a Hunter's, and Shatter is maybe the Warlocks.
Yeah,
because it's hard to tell. I can tell what some of them are in the other shots, but it's hard to tell on this one which one is which. We gotta
assume if this creation mechanic of creating these platforms here that we jump on, if that's going to be a big part of exploration, then every
that's a good point. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I think there is like another shot later in the trailer showing the Hunter like throwing a grenade down at his feet and basically essentially using it to like leap up off the ice. So yeah, and again, I think that is the thing of like when they first revealed Beyond Light, Luke Smith was saying that like the darkness and stasis powers are technically like a fourth subclass and a new like energy type, like with solar and arc and void.
Yes.
But like how the subclass works will work differently from how the current 3 do. So maybe it is a thing where like all of them will have their own things, so to speak.
Yeah, maybe like a 4th tree for every subclass.
Yeah, and then here we go. This is the one that I realized now watching this trailer that they show in the first one where people were seeing the hunter. This is the hunter with the ice picks, so they were thinking he was going to be like the Titan super where he throws them like hammers. But as you can see here, it's actually completely different because he just throws the one, and that makes the big time freeze bubble. So you can see they all freeze in time.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the hunter's super is making that big time freezing orb.
We see another grenade here where it kind of sucks people in and then freezes.
Yeah,
them.
And freezes them. And I think that's and then see here's the hunter using the ice creation to leap up in the air. And there's his melee, which looks like it also freezes people in place. He throws a ninja star. Yeah, you see that? I just saw it like there, and
he throws 2 in this sequence also.
Yeah, they're ninja stars too. And you can see it pinning off. I can't get a good frame shot of it, but when it's slowed down, you can kind of see it. It's totally a ninja star. That's pretty dope.
Throws 2 so that you can stack 2 of them, which I guess the hunter could do.
Yeah,
I believe this is probably the warlock melee.
Yeah,
actually, because the warlock, one of the revamped sub tree for the season or for this expansion, they changed the melee where you shoot a fireball. It's kind of similar animation. So this makes me think that this could be the stasis melee for the warlock, where you shoot.
You literally freeze them, and it looks like people. Then you can combo off of other people. So this is like another hunter melee of some kind, where like it looks like he's opponents have gotten frozen, and then he can do this like aerial slam, and that's like shatters everything. Yeah, and there was a shot. There was a shot earlier I was talking about, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so it looks like the Titan or Hunter ice thins up, and then Warlock uses the Void Blast, and it shatters them and does extra damage, which is cool.
Yeah, and then similar thing with the Warlock melee, where it shoots frozen dudes and shatters them instantly. Here's a dude. So this is another thing which I'm curious about. Like, it looks like maybe that's a Titan. It looks like the Titan has a slide, because you can see like as he goes to slide, ice starts coming off of him.
If you use the dot and comma commands, it'll go 1 frame forward.
Oh, okay, yeah, good idea.
So
I think this is the Titan sliding into these frozen dudes, which shatters them. So maybe that's like another ability.
But it also looks like his slide is creating ice. So maybe that's an ability that he has. He does an ice slide that encases and hits enemies in his way, which could be a different take on the Titan melee.
Yeah,
shoulder charge. You know?
Yeah, because the hunter right now has like a melee ability where if you start sprinting and then slide and then hit the melee button, he does like an uppercut with the staff and shoots out a big lightning burst. So it could be something like that where maybe you start sliding. If you get enough speed, you can slide. Or they also have the shoulder charges too, like the hunter, the Titan shoulder charges.
Shoulder charge. That's what I'm thinking. It might replace that.
Yeah. So instead, you just run and
the Warlock super here.
Yeah, look at that. Gets his ice scepter.
So cool. This is so my shit.
Yeah.
Just like, again, shooting out shockwaves with the staff out seems like what it's.
Yeah, that's what that looks like it's doing.
Clearing super, which is always my favorite.
Yeah, it's just like a big. Yeah, it's just like a big shockwave there. Here's another thing I'm not 100% sure on. It looks like
this could be another Titan melee, I guess.
Yeah, because it looks like you can kind of see the ice for the second there in that one.
So go back a little bit here. This like the ice that he's kind of coming up.
Yeah, he's like leaping off of it.
Yeah, kind of like the hunter melee or grenade that they did.
Yeah, and he's basically just doing like a big lunging punch. So yeah, maybe that's some kind of crazy melee that they get,
which is awesome.
Yeah, and then this is a new stasis exotic grenade launcher. It kind of looks like.
Yeah, we see a couple of guns here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you get that very briefly, and then of course there's the dude in the first shot, the ice dude, and then they are all together.
Yeah.
And
a lot to digest, you know.
Yeah, it's all very quick and very very interesting to say the least. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of.
And we see mostly the environments that we've seen. This is definitely like all about these subclasses and kind of how they're gonna play.
Yeah, for sure.
All the interplay between classes is awesome. You know, we're lucky to have I think I'm the only warlock in our raid team. But you know, all of our team has ults and stuff, so like we have a good mix of all the subclasses or all the classes, and so I'm excited to see how we'll be able to, when we play, mix and match different abilities and stuff.
Yeah, because like you said, these definitely seem to interplay a lot more than some of the other ones do, so to speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, because like you said, like you can straight up make platforms for your teammates, and use like this hunter one.
Like even in like Gambit, like you put that platform creation in Gambit, and you change the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it dramatically changes that. Like like a lot of PvP stuff of like making your own little areas. Freezing dudes because he clearly freezes dudes in PvP also, because here it is right here where this is a
PvP map.
Yeah, and he throws the ninja stars and literally freezes other players. Like those supposed to be other players, it froze them.
Yeah, how does that feel? Is there like mash B to get out of ice?
Yeah, like you have to kind of like try and get out of it somehow.
God, it's just so cool.
Yeah, that's really nuts.
I guess Vex and Fallen are going to be what's on Europa.
Yeah, that's definitely what it looks like. We're fighting Vex and Fallen, which is pretty cool.
A lot of Vex since Shadowkeep started.
Yeah.
I guess they're like the creations of the darkness, so it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious how they're gonna interplay that stuff in the raid.
Yeah, the raid, and then if there's another location that they're keeping secret, like it really feels like. I mean, we're still early. They haven't given us the kind of big explanation of what's going on, but it feels like there's a lot of secrets in this.
Yeah, I agree. Like I definitely agree. I definitely don't think we've definitely not seen everything yet, because we know the Cosmodrome is returning in some shape or form with this season, and we don't really know what that all entails. It definitely seems like it is. It might not necessarily be tailored towards like an end game sort of thing, but it could be something that's more tailored towards like onboarding newer players and stuff. That's definitely a lot of what the general kind of vibe is from like people in the Destiny community, and from what I've seen people saying, because like obviously the Cosmodrome was that in the original Destiny, and like as the game stands right now, like it's the new player stuff is not the greatest for sure in that game. It's pretty, it can be pretty overwhelming for a lot of people.
It's just like impossible to like just now start playing Destiny. I really don't think you could do it.
Unless you like have like solo specifically, like you just have to have people who want to get into it with you, or have friends who are already into it and like kind of taking you through it, or you're gonna sit around and watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Which
like I think the thing is, once you're in it, it's worth it and it's fun, and it is like a living game in a way that you've probably never seen before, but it's just hard to get there.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, and in fairness, it's like there's a lot of games that also have that similar build up. Like a lot of, I would say, like the game this is trying to be, where like they're calling it an action MMO. Like I would say a lot of other MMOs are similar in that, like there's a lot of game you're probably gonna have to play before you really get to the quote unquote game, and like the see everything going and seeing what you actually want to get out of the game. So I definitely have hit those strides, those peaks and valleys with Destiny myself, of just being like, I like some of the core stuff, but not really getting into it, and like now I'm not really getting into the. For a while, I was like just kind of like liking it from a base level of just like playing through expansions, because I didn't have a lot of people playing to play with, and then I would drop off just because I'd play through the story stuff and like the base level kind of traditional campaign stuff, and then then like get finally with Forsaken finally getting into seeing what some of the actual end game stuff with like raids and higher level stuff was. It was nice to see, and then as they've gone on with Shadowkeep and these more expansions, like just like layering on better systems to more grind out and like have a bunch of stuff to do to collect and other things, like that's like the side I'm kind of really into now, of like going for the random triumphs and achievements and other things like that.
Yeah, it has like scratches for the action person and the completionist alike, and it's cool.
Yeah,
it's like getting into like the Dreaming City and then the ends of Shadowkeep was so fun, and And I wish I was better at like wanting to play games all year, but like I'm more of like this part of the year I want to play these kinds of games.
Yeah,
I think that's
totally.
just where I fall into. But even still, like I am still playing Destiny, even if it's a little bit over a year later or whatever, years and years into it, and still having a relatively good time.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
definitely
for that new stuff. So
yeah, it's always exciting regardless of like seeing like the big things, right? Of like they do kind of the smaller seasonal stuff, and some that stuff is generally always hit or miss. Even within like the more hardcore community, and like generally with us, it's like never really enough to be like, okay, now's the time to jump back in. When you see that, it's just kind of like, okay, this looks fine, but like not really what I want. But then you see this stuff, and it's like, okay, this is a much bigger thing. It's like easier. It's definitely easier. I totally get
also those big robot enemies. Real quick, like who the hell are those guys?
That's one of the those were originally a boss in one of the raids.
Okay.
So, and I'm pretty sure we did that raid.
Which one was it? The Scourge of the Past?
Yeah, Scourge of the Past.
But they look smaller, like more.
Yeah, I think they're definitely smaller versions of that one boss. So where were they at again? They're back here. I think.
They're back, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also just talking about this generally, like look at all those like little robots. There's like so many of them compared to like what you normally see.
These guys.
Yeah, these definitely
been out in the wild with fallen enemy types before. So that's
yeah,
cool.
so it's cool. Yeah, just seeing this almost looks like maybe like a public event or something going on, because they have those like crazy little like pylons that are in one of the public events and the other things. So maybe that's like that version of that here potentially. And this is clearly like in the Vexy area on there. There's fallen everywhere.
Yeah, and then they just showed this same goddamn multiplayer map, this one that I always get killed on.
Yep. Damn it. And then throwing with this freaking hunter throwing ice ninja stars, which is pretty dope.
2 of them. So cool.
Yep. And then
the Titan coming in with the punch. So
yeah, I wonder if that is like that has to. I guess it has to be one of the Titan's melees. It's just like a big ice lunge.
Super good.
Yeah. Yeah, these all seem just super fun.
Yeah, they're definitely leaning into the bombastic nature of the ability tree, which is cool, and it's going to make the darkness as like its first real introduction feel big and bombastic, especially if there's presumably going to be that whole race of enemies that use just this power that we have yet to be seen. Whatever the pyramid ship race is, like.
Yeah. I wonder if
a cool little preview of how they're going to be very different than all the other enemy types, it seems.
Yeah, and I'm definitely curious of when they will. It definitely seems like they might not necessarily be in this expansion. Maybe we'll get some teases of like at least what they look like. Maybe
we'll get like a boss that is one of them or something. Or in later seasons they'll be introduced.
Because that was another thing we pulled from that Keeley interview was Luke Smith saying like we're going to see the initial kind of the dark, like these darkness stasis powers coming to the other enemy factions in Destiny, but we'll see them with the Fallen, as you can clearly see in this trailer. But he said that, like as the games roll out, we might see them with other factions in the other expansions. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like, as we get closer to next year, which is the Witch Queen, which seems to be the build up to the big fight finally with Savathun. I wouldn't be surprised if like that's, as we get closer to that, we start seeing Hive with darkness powers essentially being introduced more and more as that that expansion comes. And I think that'll be pretty nuts too, because the Hive is already fucked up.
Yeah,
now they have
Cabal based on darkness too, like they're big Juggernaut enemies with dark shields or whatever, stasis shields, and how that would work. And yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff that we can see. So.
Yeah, and then this is just like kind of, they said they've called this a new era of Destiny, so it seems like it is gonna. I definitely hope like
the final era, of Destiny.
But yeah, potentially, it's we'll definitely see where it goes. And then we got all these sweet pre-order now.
Pre-order bonus
things. I already did. I already got these.
Yeah,
I already got.
I was going to. I haven't yet, but now I know it's coming to Game Pass, so I might wait.
Yeah. I was trying. I have to go. I was looking at the website because Bungie does have that on their website now, of like some clarifications of like the Game Pass. Game Pass will get you not necessarily everything.
Okay.
I think it will get you into Beyond Light this season, but like all of the like actual seasonal content you might not get with it is what I think I
It's
saw.
not a season pass, which makes sense.
Yeah. And I think it was a similar thing of like, hey, you have this as long as you're on Game Pass, or our Destiny is on Game Pass, and if the stuff goes away, you would have to go get it somewhere else. But still, like that's going to be I think a big boom for specifically the Xbox Destiny ecosystem for sure. Of just
all those people that'll get a month free of Game Pass Ultimate or whatever with the Series X when they buy it this fall will
jump into Destiny, and then it'll still be the free to play Destiny stuff, but like this will also get into those expansions, which is nice for sure. And I'm excited. I'll be probably predominantly playing on PC until we finally get together and do our raid thing.
Yeah,
I'm sure, but I'm still very excited to jump into Destiny again.
Yeah.
But I think that's good. That we've just kind of been rambling for a little while.
Yeah, people got it. We got into the good stuff up front, and then
totally. And we'll just general thoughts of Destiny, because we like Destiny here.
Yeah.
And I assume if you're watching this,
Destiny together, we owe this to the people, I think.
Yeah, totally. And I think I hope the people watching this will watch this. I know Destiny seems like, like not just Destiny, but like a lot of games, the service games. There's just so many of them now, and I totally get like people just being so daunted. And I think there's also the factor of like, a few years ago there was that easy thing to just be able to play kind of everything. And I think and I think the real thing to go back on is like you actually probably shouldn't be playing every single thing.
Yeah, chill. Everybody chill. Maybe pick a couple of those games of service ones, and then
exactly. Like
else you want to play.
Yeah, like there's plenty of games that come out, especially in the holiday, that you can get through and play, but you don't need to play everything. And I think that's like the one redeeming quality of having so many of these games to pick from, is like find the one that speaks to you, and then just enjoy it for what it is, instead of like trying to be like, all right, I have to see all this thing, and then maybe I should do this other one and then see all that thing too, and then like lose your mind. But I think that'll do
Destiny,
it.
Though. Play Destiny with us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're listening to this, watching this, please play Destiny with us, because we'll be playing. I still play a lot on PC, and we'll definitely be playing more as I'm sure we get closer and closer to this expansion, and then definitely when the expansion comes out.
Yep.
So
thanks for watching, everybody.
Yep.
And there will be more Destiny in the future.
Yep. Thanks everyone. Bye.